right. Well, hey everyone. Good morning if you're listening to this in the morning. But it's episode 87 of the Homestead Shop Talk podcast with Al from Lumna Acres, Ben from Holler Homestead, and myself, Jason from Sow the Land. And it's been a muddy, muddy mess over here.
Well, you can say that
Right.
again.
I don't even want to hear it.
Would you rather take the mud out?
Right now, I think so. But when it's mud season now,
We had so much rain this week. I don't even know how much. Do you know how much, Ben?
So the rain gauge was like at 4.5 inches, and I saw it was like leaning because it's just one of those cheap little plastic rain gauges from Tractor Supply, and it kept on raining. And next time I looked at it, it was like tipped over on the ground. So somewhere around 5 inches is what we got last week. Yeah, it is Jason's not exaggerating. It is a sloppy, muddy mess everywhere.
we probably got like 2.5, 3 feet of snow on the ground, I'd say right now.
How cold's it been up there with all that snow?
So right now it's like 0. It's supposed to feel, it's been windy all day. So I'm trying to think Saturday, Sunday. We got about 12 inches of snow. And then it's just been windy ever since. It's been like in the teens since we've had the snow.
I saw we're supposed to get snow on Wednesday this week. We'll see if it happens. I think we're just going to get rain. But I saw one weather guy. He said there's a real good chance that this storm that's hitting us is going to hit the coast. And he said it's going to become a nor'easter. And it just barrels down on Al up there in the far north. It's like, all right, watch out, Al. You might have a nor'easter.
I haven't been seeing any snow predicted yet, but that could change. Yeah, as of right now, I'm not seeing nothing, but
Yeah, well, Al is used to it. Just give it to Al.
we've had enough this year. We've had a bunch of small storms, which have been fine, but this last one was like all day long, and then it's just been the wind, so it's like you plow it. I spent all day Saturday plowing, and then you wake up, or all day Sunday. My days are all confused. I think it was Sunday. We spent all day plowing, and then we woke up this morning, and everything's just filled back in from the wind.
Oh, man.
What a pain.
Yep. So I didn't plow today. I'm like, it's windy all day today. There's no point. I'll clean up after.
So what are you plowing, like around your buildings and stuff?
What's that?
You're plowing around your buildings?
Yeah, we're plowing the buildings. We plow the road, our road. So not the hard part, but the part that takes a lot of time is like cleaning out around where we store all the hay. I don't plow that all the time. So we probably had a foot down there on Saturday. So I had to clean that all up because I'm like, we got another foot coming. So I got to clean up everything before we get another foot. So we spent the day Saturday cleaning up everything. And then Sunday, spent the day plowing out everything.
You might as well talk about your week, Al.
It's going to be white.
Plowing?
It's got to be white here for a while, I think. Yes, we spent lots of time plowing and shoveling, for sure.
You like plowing? Well, okay. If you had to choose, plowing or mowing the lawn?
I'd probably mow the lawn.
Okay.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I would take plowing over weed whacking.
Ooh. Yeah.
I'd be inclined to agree with you there.
But been working on the walk-in cooler still. Like I was saying before, we fought the corners, and then I was reading a comment because our videos go out like a week behind, and they were like, "Why didn't you just cut the backside of them, and then you could have filled them with great stuff?" I was like, I didn't even think of that. If I would have like slid it with a Sawzall one side and like cut through the foam, but then left the metal on the inside, so it would have been flexible. I was like, man, I never thought of that. I wish I would have thought of that earlier. It's too late now.
Yeah, some of those comments, man, they're great. Like,
Yep.
But that's the problem, though, right? Like, we've already finished the project.
You're right. We've moved on from that stage. Yep.
But I feel like it can be easy, though, because they're seeing it from like a different perspective than what,
right?
Because we're in it. It's like watching a movie, right?
Yep.
the lady's going, or the person's going into the dark closet, and you're like, "Don't go in the dark closet. There's a scary monster in there." Well,
We
of
know he's
course,
in there.
of course, you're gonna know that because you're watching it after the fact.
So we got that done. The corners, they're not perfect, but we got it pretty good. So then we started playing around, putting a floor in. We drilled a hole for a floor drain. So like, yeah, that'll be handy to have a floor drain in the middle there. We cut the hole for the AC, the air conditioning. That was kind of like, oh man, I hope I do this right, but it's in there. I think it's right. We'll find out, I guess, when we go to put the air conditioning in at the end.
Did you buy the AC first?
We have the AC, and I made a template, but I didn't want to take the air conditioning apart to take the metal shield and put it in. I just traced it, so we'll see.
Yeah.
We spent
Cool.
a lot of time ordering all the components. I think I talked about that last time. Our Amazon's like 2 weeks out, so we've just been trying to like plan and make sure we get a lot of the stuff here
That's tough.
when we
Yeah.
need it. So there's a lot of time doing that. We were talking about FRP last time. So we went to put the ceiling in. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna test fit it, and then I'll take it back out. But we didn't. We didn't test fit it. We just flipped it over. We're like, you know what? Before we put the ceiling back in, let's FRP it on a regular flat surface, so we're not working above our head. And I'm so glad we did that. That worked out.
Oh,
That worked out good.
yeah. That's a good idea. Yeah. So for those listening, what does FRP stand for? Do you know?
Fiberglass reinforced paneling, I believe.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
So basically, it's like a plastic board that's food grade safe that a lot of butcher shops use. It's easy to clean, and I think like for food safety stuff, it's probably considered inspectable or whatever.
Yeah, I always say it's like stuff like a shower liner.
Yeah,
like, kind of like that.
The stuff we ended up getting is more like a plastic. I don't even know if it's considered an FRP, but it was right next to the FRP.
Is it smooth?
Little textured, not a lot. But
yeah, I guess it's like plastic.
Yeah. So we get that.
Okay, so you pasted that on before you put the roof on.
Yes. So we took the roof out, so it was all cut apart before. So we had to clean up the roof, wash it all down, and then we glued the FRP on, let it dry overnight, and then we put the roof back in.
That was great. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, man, I don't know how Jason did this above his head in the trailer.
Yeah, it was tough. It was hard.
I'm sure. But we were talking about it last week, and Ben was like, "Oh, if you got a drywall lift, use a drywall lift for the FRP." So I didn't use it for the FRP, but I was able to take the whole roof panel, which is 6x8, and it's like 4 inches thick of foam. So I put that whole thing on it, and then I jacked it up and kind of like got it over close, and we just kind of like jimmied it off of the drywall jack and into the building, and we got it to work that way. So you gave me that idea, Ben. So thank you.
Cool. Yeah, you got to use those drywall lifts. Make them know they're still loved.
Yeah, you only use them every once in a while, but they come in handy.
They got one job.
Yeah. We got a little sketch so the ceiling panel like tapers, so it must just be like the way it's fit. So we put it in, and like each side it was just like barely catching, like by like maybe a quarter of an inch. So I plumbed all my walls and like set everything in place. I plumbed everything off the outside of the foam walls. They're plumb on the outside. Well, then I went on the inside. The inside, they weren't plumbed, which I thought was weird. They still had to. So when I replumbed them, so they're plumb on the inside now and not plumb on the outside. So I have a tight fit, but I just thought that was odd. But,
got some cattywampus walls.
Yeah, something was going on there. They're both bowed out, but if you put the level on them, it said they were dead on from the outside. And then we put I ran 2x6s on top, like floor joists, so that way we can put our meat racks, our rail system, and screw them into something good. And then that's kind of holding it down. And then I just used the great stuff, and I filled the gaps in with the great stuff.
Okay. So you put the flooring on already?
No, not yet. So
okay.
We have leftover roll-on waterproofing for like doing a tile shower that we did in the house. We're gonna put that on the floor first, and then we'll put vinyl over it after.
Okay.
Because I want to get it nice and watertight, so that when we have our drain in, we don't have like any issues or anything nasty getting between the plywood and the foam and all the different layers for the floor.
So did yours come with a door?
It did, and I'm trying to figure that out.
Mm.
It's not the prettiest. That's my biggest problem is we're trying to do it, but we want it to look nice at the same time.
Yeah.
And so,
Right.
I'm trying to figure out how I want to do the door. If I want to cover it in FRP on the inside, and then if I want to leave it on the outside not covered, or if I want to cover it with like a wood paneling just to make it look cool. So that's where we're at.
Okay. You're gonna put those flaps, so the cold air doesn't come out.
No, you got those on your trailer?
No, I didn't put them on there. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess if you're constantly going in and out, maybe, but yeah, I don't think they need it.
Did you glue your floor down, or how'd you do your floor?
I glued it.
You glued it all the way.
Yeah.
Yep.
I forget what I used, but it wasn't the same stuff as FRP.
It was just like the roll vinyl, like
It was
what
like-
you put.
Yeah, I think it was just some cement that you roll on.
Oh yes, yep. So did you put your floor down first or after your FRP panels for the walls?
I think I put the floor on first. Yeah,
First. Yep.
I did the floor first, and then the walls, and then the ceiling.
So I'm trying to figure out which one do I want to do first. If I do the floor last, I'll have to put trim up, I figure. If I do it first, I won't have to. But if we ever got to replace the floor, then it's tucked behind the FRP panels. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you find the vinyls fine in the cold weather? Because that was the only thing we saw. They when we were trying to figure out what we want to do for flooring, they said the vinyl usually doesn't hold up to extreme colds. But then on the same hand, we're not going to be having the cooler going 24/7 all the time.
I think the vinyl's fine. I don't know. What do you think, Ben? How's the vinyl holding up over there?
Vinyl's holding up
cooler for a while.
I think I've had the cooler longer than Jason has in the past year. It looks great. It's holding up good. It's easy to clean.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's like extreme cold. I mean, if just above freezing is cold, I guess you could call it extreme cold, but it looks great.
Yeah, 32 degrees in there.
Right.
31 maybe. Yeah.
So because you've had yours for a while, it's not cracking or nothing. The vinyl, no. That's good to know.
Mm-mm. It's fine.
How'd you wire yours? Do you have lights inside?
I did have a light. It's one of those lights that you buy. It's battery powered.
Yep.
That's just like it's motion.
Okay.
But the problem because it's, I think, kind of wet in there, or from the cooler, it messes up with the battery. So because I don't think it's meant to be like in a fridge.
Right, and moisture.
So it messes with the batteries, and so eventually it stops working.
Gotcha.
But when it works, it's cool because as soon as you open the door, it turns on like a fridge.
Yep.
And then it turns off. But you just have to I just have to put batteries in there. So I think eventually it goes out.
So do you have it so you just plug in the air conditioning, or do you have it wired up so you just plug in the trailer and then that powers the AC and the cool bot?
Yeah, I kind of made my own deal where it's a plug. You plug in the extension cord on the outside into the cooler trailer. And then on the inside, it's looks like a regular wall plug. But it's essentially just an outlet, but made it look like a wall plug, if that makes sense.
Yep.
It's like a little extension that you can buy that you plug it in, and then I just put it inside the wall to make it look like an outlet.
That's all you need. You just have to be able to plug two things in.
Yeah, that's all. It's pretty simple. It's just it's not like legit to code or anything, but those things are usually not.
As long as it gets the job done.
Yeah, you just plug it in the outside, which makes it pretty nice, I think.
Yep.
Because how else would you plug it? You'd have to run extension cords outside somehow.
Right. Now, do you trailer it? You must trailer it with the air conditioning hanging out of the trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've never had issues with that?
No. I do just whenever I told Ben too, like what I've noticed though is you know how when you install an AC unit like that, you're supposed to install them with a little bit slanted down.
Yep.
So when it rains or the condensation, it goes out. But on a trailer, it's not. You got to make sure you put the trailer going backwards, like slanted back. Because if you had it forward, then the condensation would go in the trailer.
Right.
I guess that's the only thing. Or if it rains, all that rain goes in.
Yep. Falls it right back in.
Yeah.
Yep.
So having like some kind of cover
over the air. Yep.
That might be helpful.
Yeah, I was trying to decide if I want to have the roof overhang the backside and cover the air conditioning.
Yeah. Also, I mean, you got to have it on a flat surface. I mean, the chances of that happening is
right.
Not always true. So it might be slanted forward. So I don't know. That's something to think about.
Yep. So that's pretty much been my week, is working on that and getting interrupted to plow the snow, it seems like.
Snow on that, yeah.
Yep.
When do you think you'll be done? This week?
No, I don't. It's been a slow process because we keep getting caught. I having to spend a lot of time just plowing and everything right now, and then it's just been a lot of little custom things, so it's been taking time. And I think with the weather, it's kind of like it's okay that it's taking a lot of time because it's a nice indoor project in a heated workshop, and we're not outside and
right
kind of thing.
No hurry.
No hurry. And I mean, we're being fussy with it. Like, we want to make sure it looks nice, it looks cool. So we're going to take our time and make it. And it's just because we want to, kind of thing.
Right.
But
that's good.
I'm hoping that when it's out on the homestead, nobody's really going to know that it's I want it to be, I don't know. I want it to be nice looking, not just like an eyesore metal box sitting somewhere.
Oh, okay. They might think it's like a bathroom or something.
I hope not.
Like a nice outhouse. I'm talking about a nice bathroom. I'm talking about just
a two-seater.
I'm just saying. I just don't want to think that it's a nice outhouse and try to go into it and do their business.
Like, whoa, there's a giant cow in here. There's a pig in here. Whoa. I think that's Al's Airbnb.
Well, that'll be the garden shed. Hopefully they'll think that or something.
Yeah.
So we've been dealing with snow and you guys have been dealing with rain and mud.
Yeah. For sure. And we're going to get cold again.
Like for a while or just like for a day?
I'm saying a couple weeks, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we got cold coming for a little bit.
So what is cold for you guys?
I think tomorrow night, it's going to get down to like, I don't know, 14, something like that. 13.
Yeah, that's cold.
I mean, 2 weeks ago or a week ago it was like 77.
Yeah, last podcast, you guys like, oh, it's in the 70s here.
Yeah, I got a sunburn.
And I'm like, yeah, I got frostbite and windburn.
Yeah, and then now it's cold again, so that's just the way it is.
So I think our property is like a weird little cold pocket. Last night it was supposed to be 29, and I got up and it was 22. So, and I've got like 3 thermometers now in various places outside, and it was pretty freaking cold compared to what they said it was supposed to be. So I don't know. I don't know if we're having colder weather in general here, or if it's like just our little holler we live in.
How are the peach trees doing? Did they try to start to bloom out or bud or anything?
The buds have kind of stalled. They're, I don't know, like 1/4 inch long, still showing red, but they haven't frozen off or anything.
That's wild.
They better not. I'm not tarping stuff like I did last year. If they want to pop out before it's safe and freeze off, that's their business.
That's their problem.
That's their problem. One thing I thought that's been weird up here is we've been really cold and snowy, but last week we've had, not a lot, but we've had some birds come back, and they've been hanging around the homestead. And then today, it's been windy. We've had like 15 mile-per-hour winds like all day long, and it's been like single digits. And the crows came out today. I'm like, do they know something we don't? Is spring right around the corner?
Ooh. So they don't typically hang out in the snow.
Nope.
I know there's a whole ton of geese headed your way. Like every morning, geese have been flying over our house. So probably got geese headed up that way.
They don't want to get here too early.
That really is the life. Like, think about it. You know what? It's a little warm down here in Florida. Let's go up north. And then as soon as it gets to, your ideal, what's a goose like? 60 degrees or something? You just find a grassy spot or a lake to land and just hang out until you don't like the weather again.
Sounds like van life. Should live in a van, just follow the nice weather.
All the nice weather.
So what'd you get into, Ben? What'd you get? Anything good?
Actually, not a whole lot, actually. As we were saying, there's been a lot of rain. So last Monday, I think I talked about it a little bit, getting up in the woods and like pulling out all of these down trees, all the snag trees, and I'm just piling brush and just trying to clean stuff up because I plan on putting perimeter fence in our 1 acre woods. We've had like a bunch of rain. Yesterday, it finally quit raining and started blowing. And so it was windy, but like the sun was out a little bit yesterday. It's been a week of kind of terrible weather. I actually went up in the woods. I wanted to see if I could get the tractor up there and keep working. And the boys had told me, they're like, Dad, have you been in the woods where you were working last week? And I was like, no. And they're like, you can't even walk. It's so slippery and muddy. I was like, there's a couple places where it's pretty steep. Like I can only drive the tractor straight up and down the hill. I can't drive sideways because I'd roll. I drove down there with a golf cart, and the little road I cut in, it's muddy, but it's passable. And I got up to where it's like, I guess it becomes forest floor. Like it's leaves and duff and stuff like that. I like turned off of the broken ground from cutting the road onto forest floor and stopped moving. Like the golf cart wouldn't move. I was like, what the heck? And I get off, and it is so slick. It feels like I'm just on slime. And I couldn't get the golf cart out. And so like I'm kind of trying, like I can't get it turned around. And I realized, hey, this is so slimy. I wonder if I could just turn the golf cart around by pushing on it. So I got off and I turned the golf cart a complete 180 degrees and was able to like get it sliding down the hill a little bit and get out of the woods. So needless to say, I will not be up in the woods pulling trees out until it dries up a little bit. Like it is ridiculously slimy, muddy up there.
Mm-hmm.
You guys will probably be surprised to know I sliced bacon last week.
What? Heck no.
I only have one more batch of bacon to smoke and slice. So like this saga of slicing bacon, it seems like every other week is coming to an end. But
man.
Worst bacon I've ever made. For real. This is the
why is that?
This is the smoke tube bacon.
No, not smoky enough.
It doesn't taste remotely smoky. Like the flavor of the meat, like it's good. It tastes like salted pork. But man, I smoked this stuff for 24 hours and it doesn't even taste smoky. So yeah, I call it the bacon that you like give to the neighbors. You know, like, hey, you want some bacon? Here, try this out.
That's so weird because, I mean, those guys were like, yeah, you got to try this. I don't know.
Oh, well, it was worth a try, and I'm only out like $24 for the smoked tube, so I'm not real upset about it. Wasn't very much bacon either.
Mm.
How long do you normally smoke your bacon for with your regular smoker?
Like when I'm smoking on wood, between 12 and, I don't know, I think the longest I've gone is 16 hours. But 16 hours, you're getting up on creosote tasting. So, like I did some bacon. Like I really like cherry for smoking bacon. I don't know. I think it has the best flavor. It's got the most unique flavor because our wild black cherry we have around here has a very distinct, like I don't know. The cherry wood smells like cough syrup, like cherry cough syrup. Um, and the older the wood gets, that kind of mellows out, but it's still in there, and you can detect that on the meat. Like
Hmm.
it's really tasty. But I smoked some on some kind of greener cherry, and it did something to your tongue when you ate a slice of bacon, like almost like you licked the chimney of a diesel truck or something. Like it's a little too smoky. So there's a sweet spot in there.
So you did the tube one for 24 hours, you said?
Yeah. Yeah. It
Oh
was
man.
a whole 24 hours. Well, because
Mm.
I smoked it all day and I go to pull it out that night and I'm looking at it, it's like there's not even color. Like this is really weird. Like having
Hmm.
and like I open the smoker and it's like a cloud of smoke coming out and it's like, yeah, this looks like it's gonna work great. And then I start looking at the meat and it's like it doesn't look like it's got any smoke at all. Whereas, if I
Mm.
smoke something on wood for 12 hours, you can tell it's smoked. Like when I slice the bacon, there's a smoke ring all the way around the bacon. So, yeah, it was a cool experiment. Um, Now I will say, like, I'm not giving up on the smoke tube just yet. Uh, if I need to smoke some fish or something like that, I think that would be ideal for that because you don't want tons and tons of smoke on fish. We got a few comments on that video. People were like saying you could smoke cheese with that thing, and it was like that's where that would shine. Because have you ever had like smoked cheddar or smoked Gouda or something like that?
You don't want it to be diesel. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want it to taste like creosote. Taste like I smoked it on railroad ties or something.
Yeah.
But
Just enough. Just enough.
so yeah, trying to think what else did we do? It was really just working in the woods on Monday. Like I was trying to get stuff done while the sun was still shining, and then it rained Tuesday, and then all day Wednesday. Did it rain Thursday? I don't think it rained Thursday. I think it like dried up on Thursday. I don't know. We
No.
did
What
some.
about your tractor? Did
So
you
far so
have any more
good.
issues?
Knock on wood. It has not died on me yet. I think we might have got it licked. Other than that, yeah, there's been some away mission stuff that we've done off camera and away from here, that kind of stuff. But other than that, not a huge amount of stuff going on. I would really like to get back to working on the house and the garden, just stuff like that. But man, it sucks when it's this muddy.
Yeah. I know. It's always something. So we had so yeah, ton of mud this week. Let me think, where should I start here? Okay, we cleaned out the greenhouse, our high tunnel, trying to get that going. We moved the chickens out and we just started cleaning it up, and it's not too bad. The chickens didn't destroy too much of it. I thought they were gonna really destroy everything, like the mounds and stuff, and like eat the plastic, and that did not happen at all. So uh super thankful for that. Um but we took out all the other excess stuff that's just sitting there, like the old tomatoes and things like that. And I mean, they kind of ate some of the drip line, which I kind of thought that would happen. So there was a few drip lines there that I got to fix, but I have a lot of rolls, or a huge roll of it, so it shouldn't be a huge problem. So now we're just kind of waiting for some more landscape fabric, and probably gonna buy more soil this year. We bought a ton of it last year for that greenhouse. I don't think we're gonna need that much, but I don't remember how much it was, but it was a lot. It was the whole greenhouse. So,
Since you brought it up, I actually have to buy some soil. And that soil you got last year looked like some good stuff. After we're done, text me
Yeah.
that place. I'll check them out.
yeah, it was good stuff. Plus they delivered, which was cool. So we're still waiting on stuff to finish off that thing and start planting for the season soon. What else I do? I broke my camera this week.
Oh no.
I know. Well, actually, it was last year I dropped it. It was on the tripod and it just fell over. Boom. And then the flip out screen, um, it like bent. Still was working. It just was bent. And so slowly from then till now, this week, it just kept getting worse. And then finally the screen just stopped working. So the camera would turn on and it would record some stuff, but I couldn't tell if it was on or what, because the screen wasn't working. So luckily, I got an extended warranty on it, or not warranty, I guess insurance. And I've had that thing for 3 years, and the insurance is over like at the end of this year. So I barely just made it, so it should be good. I still have to mail it in, and it's probably gonna take a week. So I have a backup camera that I've been using, and yeah.
So will they repair that one, or they send you a new one?
I think they're gonna repair it. I'm not sure. I guess after I send it in, they'll tell me. But it sounds like they're gonna repair it. I would think they could just repair it, but I don't know.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm glad I got that extended insurance thing.
The struggle with breaking your camera is no joke. We have a camera and a backup camera and a backup camera, and our dumb butts, we broke our main camera, and then instead of sending it in, we just set it down and started using the backup camera until we broke that one, and then it was like, uh-oh. The backup camera is not very good, so I don't know what we're gonna do. So yeah, we just recently got both of our main cameras fixed. The struggle is real.
Oh, nice. Oh yeah. I mean, I have my phone. I was like, oh, I could just use my phone, but I'm not really set up to use my phone. I need I want to get like those like wireless mic would be helpful. Because above all, I think the sound has to be great, has to be good. Maybe but it's a camera. I mean, it's a newer phone, so they're pretty good. As far as the quality of the picture. But yeah, I have a couple backups, so that's helpful. Yeah, I know, because the show must go on, right? Like,
Right.
Who cares
Yeah.
that you broke your camera? Who cares?
They don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
You gotta have a backup cameras and backup computers. It seems like.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, the computer's a big one.
Yep.
Because a camera is a camera, right? Like, you could just use your phone, like, you can use whatever. But, like, the computer, man, if that goes out, I mean, what are you going to do?
And we all live in the country, so it's not like you have an Apple store or a computer store just
No.
in the neighborhood. You can go drive and go get a new one.
I think the nearest Apple store for us is like 2.5 hours away.
Yep, that's how ours is.
I'll be posting a video unedited.
Just a raw footage video.
Just straight raw footage, just doing it. I'm like, I'm just setting up this camera and just, all you're gonna look at is Bernice, like, and I'm gonna walk by, or me just staring, thinking of what to do next. Yeah, it's funny. So yeah, I've been working on that, the pig shelter, compost shed that I'm doing. I had to get 16 footers, 16 foot 2x6s. And I refuse to order lumber online anymore. I refuse it. Even though it sounds so convenient. So our friend Brian, good old Brian, he has a big trailer. So I was like, Brian, take me to Lowe's. So we went there one morning and we loaded up on all the 2x6, all the 16 footers that I need. We talked about, how long it takes for you to get Amazon now. But yesterday I figured, okay, I'm not going to order lumber. but I need the metal roofing, right? I need to order that. So I was like, you know what? I'll order that online. And, it's metal. Like, it should be fine, right? I ordered it yesterday at like 3 p.m. It came today by 2. Home Depot.
Wow.
I didn't think it was going to get that quick. And I just ordered the metal roofing.
How do they deliver it? Do they deliver it in a big truck, or do they have?
It was a super long flatbed, like a big rig.
Yep.
And then they had the, that machine that it looks like I don't know what it is.
A moffat,
mule.
they call them.
Yeah.
Yeah, those things are cool.
I was like, that's what we need. So yeah, he had that, unloaded it. He dropped it on my trailer because I was like, I don't know where he's gonna go with this thing. So I pulled my trailer out and I said, can you drop it on my trailer because I'm gonna take it out to the field. He's like, yeah, I can do that. And so I was like, cool. But I'm surprised he delivered it that quick. And nothing was wrong with the metal, so it was better than me going over there and picking up. I think it was like 50, 25 12-footers, and like 25 8-footers.
That's a bunch.
So
Yep.
I would have to do that by hand. I was like, heck no. So what else? So yeah, pigs are still doing good. My 2 Idaho pasture pigs, I moved them for the first time. It's been a week since I've had them. So they've been in that chicken shelter for a week, and then I finally moved the whole shelter with them in it. And it went pretty smooth.
Do they know you as Snack Man now?
They're still a little skittish. I mean, they're still a little, but now they see me, they go up to the fence and they're like, before they would like not go to the fence. So they're learning. If we can only raise our animals in those chicken tractors, I think life would be a lot easier. And no netting.
No netting, right?
No netting.
Oh man, it would be very convenient. But I don't know. I got to get them out of there. So yeah, I got to get them out of there. I want to train them to a single wire, rather than the netting, and then move them around with that. So I still got to do that. But
Were they trained at all to electric fence or netting before?
yeah, he had them on. I think they were in. Well, I think he had them on the net for. I think he said a week. And they've definitely touched it, he said, and backed away.
Yep.
So they were trained to net. So I feel like I can't leave them in this shelter for too long because I don't want them to forget. But I'm gonna do the single wire instead. So hopefully I can put them in the woods. I wanna try putting them in the woods, and I haven't raised any animal in the woods yet, so.
It can be nerve-wracking. There's so much brush they can push against that single wire. They'll defeat it.
Yeah.
And you'll go to feed them, and everybody will be there, and they'll be like, yeah, as soon as he leaves, we're leaving. And they do.
That too, I'm a little worried about the woods too, because the woods are not fenced in. And sometimes, man, I'll hear a dog barking, I'll hear a bunch of dogs barking, and I don't know if they're in our woods or if they're just far away and they just sound close, but I don't know. I would probably be worried about it if they were in there, thinking that something's going to harass them. But
I mean, a hot wire works both ways.
Yeah, that's true.
And then once a pig's big enough, it'll defend itself, like a dog or a coyote.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Like we used to have those stray dogs roaming the property. They wouldn't even look at the pigs, even at the coonies. They wouldn't even go their way. They're probably like, I don't want any part of that. Like they'll play with the steers that we had. They would run around with them, but the pigs, they didn't seem like they wanted to any part of them. Chickens for sure, but the pigs, I don't know. I don't know if they look too scary. They're like, you guys are piggybacking each other. I don't want any part of that.
Get me out of here.
You guys are freaky. I don't want part of that. So, what else? Yeah, I think that's about it. I mean, that rain pretty put a damper on a lot of things. But
Amen, brother.
And then snow. Yeah, maybe snow. Or it's gonna be too cold to do anything.
I don't know about
go
too
inside
cold
the
to do
barn and do
anything.
something.
Like
I
a
have to
little
go
bit
in
of
the barn and
cold's
do
cool.
something.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's always working undercover, but I like when the mud freezes because then you can do stuff again.
Or it was windy. Was it windy at your place, Ben? Like, when was this? Yesterday?
It was yesterday. And yesterday, like it because we got another rainstorm. It rained like Tuesday, Wednesday, and then we had a little reprieve, and then it rained. What was that, like Friday, Saturday? And then I think it was Saturday. It rained a bunch, and then of course it all blows away in typical fashion, and like we have super high winds. Man, I had a cardboard box that was like over here by the shed. I found it down at the road this morning, like, and it wasn't in a spot that I thought it could blow away. I had a couple empty buckets, like food scrap buckets, that were sitting by the hose bib. Yeah, those suckers left too. I had to go get them. It's just crazy wind.
Yeah, I was trying to do that shed, and I was on the ladder, and it was crazy windy, and I was like, man, this sucks. It was just really cold too. It was like cold wind, and it was really windy, and it was just like, I don't know. I don't mind the rain, I guess, but I don't know. I'm not crazy about the wind.
Wind's hard to work in, especially when it's cold.
Yeah.
So how many water catchments are you going to do in the new shed?
I mean, I could do a big one. I don't know. I don't know if I probably won't do it right away, but I could probably do, I don't know, 3,000-gallon tanks, probably.
Will you set it up at first for like just watering your pigs?
That I probably should do, yeah. Even if it's just like a 55-gallon barrel, like just something like that would be super helpful. But I could probably put a bigger tank there and use that for our greenhouse. Like gravity feed it down or something. It'd be cool to put, if I could put some, or maybe it's like a solar, like I'll pump it out or something like that. Yeah, for sure.
You have to get your buddy over there with a trencher and trench some underground lines to the greenhouse.
Yeah, I think at the time too, I was like, should I go one more? And it was over there where I was gonna build, where I'm building the shed now. And now I kind of regret it. I was like, I should have done one more. But I don't know. I just want to get it done at the time.
Yep.
I was like, well, maybe I'll get a tractor by the time I need another one. Then I could do it.
Right. So you got to build your brooders anytime soon for your chicks. That's got to be starting to come soon. Your meat birds.
Yeah, I'm gonna brood them in the chicken tractor.
Okay.
So
the new chicken tractor or one of your older ones?
I don't know. Probably one of the older ones. I think. I think there should be plenty of room for 150.
Yep.
But I'm just gonna have to put it back where I can run an extension cord, so I can put heat lamps in there. And then I gotta cover the sides, make sure the sides are covered and all that. But so yeah, I'm not gonna build like this crazy thing, I'm just trying to use what I have. Sometimes I think we could get like, I need to get a shipping container because I gotta raise, these baby chickens in there. I start thinking that way, but then I have to sometimes remind myself of like, you know what? How did we start this thing? How do we originally start? And we had these chicken tractors, right? Like that was our original brooder, was our chicken tractors. And it's like, let's just try to remember certain things like that, you know? Like I try to not be too fancy and just do what we have, and that worked before, so it should work again. And then, I mean, who knows, next year maybe we get something bigger or something real like a building, but since we're just starting out, we just need to stay starting out and work up from there. I mean, it's kind of hard sometimes, but sometimes I have to remember that. So what else, guys?
I think my week suffered from the same thing yours did. Wasn't a whole lot of anything going on with a couple days of rain.
Yeah, I think so. All right. I think we can end it there.
I think so.
Yep,
All right. I
sounds
think
good.
we'll end it there on that note. So yeah, super thankful for you guys who are listening to this podcast. Thank you so much. And you know, our actual podcast, like on Spotify, iTunes, that keeps growing along with the YouTube channel. You know, and I think just people just listen to the podcast in different ways. Some people like to see our expressions, and some people don't care. Either way, we appreciate you guys listening and watching the podcast. Thank you so much, and we'll see you guys next week.
Have a good week.
Later, everybody.